What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another training. Today, we're going to be going over 4 pillars that you can focus on in 2026 to develop yourself in a way where you will have to reintroduce yourself in 2026. I'm talking about getting ahead of 99% of people in 2026. If you're committed to your growth, this is going to be the training for you today. Now, I spent personally over 6 figures on the top mentors around the world to help me develop myself, build my businesses, and become my absolute greatest self. From this work that I've done over the past 10 years, I've built a business where I've made about $1 million by 25. I've become a 2% funded day trader, and I've been able to accomplish many of my dreams at a young age. I'm going to show you the top 4 pillars that I focused on to develop myself and become the person that I need to be to get what it is that I wanted. Let's dive in. All right, the 4 pillars to get ahead of 99% of people in 2026, starting out with the foundation. Number one is the beliefs that you have around your goals itself. Now, if you've been watching my trainings, if you've been keeping up with my trainings, we go heavily and deep into the power behind your belief system, how your belief system itself creates your personal reality. Now, one thing I want you to ask yourself is when you look at all these major successful people, what is the one thing they all have in common? The one thing that they all have in common is self-belief. They had delusional self-belief. They believed when the external world did not reflect their desires and their dreams, they still had the belief in themselves that they could do it. And that belief drove them to find a way to make it happen. Many of us, we stay stuck and we don't accomplish our goals in life simply because we just don't believe in our ability to do so. So, pillar number one we're going to dive into is your belief system because your beliefs will literally shape what you focus on in your life. Your beliefs will influence your brain to filter out things that do not serve the belief system, and it will filter in the things that do serve the belief system. It will influence how you give meaning to situations and events as you're chasing after your goals. It will influence your perspective. And overall, that influences your direction, which causes you to either succeed or to fail. So if you want to make sure you're in the right direction in 2026, it starts with what your beliefs are around the goals you want to accomplish. Here's some examples. So example number one, let's say, for example, you want to make more money in 2026, but let's say you have a belief system that money is evil or money is bad. You know, when we grow up as kids, what you see all the time on the movies and the big screens is that all the evil people were always rich, right? When you grow up, you often hear that salespeople are scammers, that rich people are evil and greedy. And that creates certain beliefs around money and being rich where it's like, that is automatically bad. And what do we do with the things that we hate? What do we do with the things that we think are bad? We try to disassociate ourselves from them. We try to get away from them, right? We try to push it away. And what do we do with the things we love? The opposite. We try to absorb it in. We focus on it more. We want it to grow. So you see how it can be conflicting where if you have a belief system right now that money is evil and being rich is for bad people, but you personally want to make money, you want to get out of a rough situation, we're kind of contradicting ourselves. We're going against ourselves. So it's almost like we form this prison, we'll say, around our minds where it blocks out all the opportunities to make more money because that does not serve the core belief system where money is evil or money is bad. Because if that is truly what our beliefs are, we're always going to try to filter that out and push it away. But if we love money, if we want more money, if we want to absorb it in, we have a healthy relationship with it, our focus will be in the right areas. And then we can see the opportunities that are already there. Think of it almost like a frequency when it comes to like a TV channel. You're watching channel 99 and it's Fox News, we'll say. Well, CNN is also playing. You might not like CNN, right? You might like Fox News. CNN is already there too, but you can't see it. You can't tap into it because you're only focused on this one channel. Same thing with how your mind works when it comes to your belief system. So, some examples here, because one thing we often got to remember a lot of people, the reason why they get stuck in life is because from a young age, up until about the age of 7, you have what we call mirroring neurons. Basically, you're a sponge. You're sucking in the entire world and learning about, how to function in this world, what your position is. You're absorbing all the labels people put on you. You're absorbing your culture's beliefs, your society's beliefs, your parents' beliefs. All this stuff is kind of getting absorbed into your mind. So the mirroring neurons. And then eventually you kind of form this sense of self where it kind of becomes solidified. And then that kind of shapes who you end up becoming in your future. And this is why you notice in your adult life that a lot of your future is a repetition over and over and over again of your recent past. It's because the way our brain works. It always wants safety, it always wants predictability, it wants things to stay the same. But you can see how that can be such a trap. So, one thing to really know, really know, is that beliefs can change. They are not solidified. They are not full truths. Some beliefs that you have about yourself might be true to you, and that would be a half truth, but it's not universally true. For example, let's say one of the beliefs that you might have is money is hard to make. Now, is that universally true? No, right? Because not everyone agrees on that. And also, though, if money was truly hard to make, if that was the truth, the construction workers would be the billionaires. But it's not like that. So it's not actually true. So you see how that belief system, though, watch how that would then reflect in your external world. When it comes to thinking about how to make money, you're probably thinking about, okay, I got to use my time. I got to work my guts out. I got to go grind all the time. And if I'm not grinding all the time, I'm not making money, and then I feel guilty. So it creates this terrible loop that does not serve us, does not serve the goals we want to accomplish. So a better belief that have is money flows to me easily. And you might be questioning it right now, like, well, I don't want to be delusional. You got to be delusional. You have to be delusional if you want to change your life. Because here's the thing, if you don't have any results in your life right now and you're always looking at the external world to tell you who you are, you're going to be a whirlwind up and down of emotions. You'll always stay stuck. You have to decide who you are going to be. You have to believe it yourself and do it into the point where the world then notices it. That's how you take control of your life and actually make a powerful change. So, one of the best ways, one of the ways I would really encourage you to go about this when it comes to your own personal belief systems is number one, try to find the whole truth, like universal truths. For example, some facts is things always change. That is a fact. No matter what, things always change eventually, right? Number two, every single thing is connected. Separation is an illusion, an illusion. We're all connected. So try to get your beliefs grounded in the full truth, or if not, build beliefs that are empowering, that are actually beneficial to you, that is going to allow you to expand rather than constrict and make your mind small and make that perspective small. You want to expand it. So find the truth or the most empowering beliefs that help serve you and get what you want. Because once you believe that actually be true, your brain will do the rest. It will then go find the evidence in your external world. You'll then eventually change your identity, which then naturally changes your behaviors. So it really does start with that belief system. Other examples really quickly. Let's say, for example, you're like, well, I want to start this business. I want to ask this person out, but I'm just not a confident person. I'm just not good enough. Okay, well, is that universally true? No, it might have been true to you up to now, but that can change. I remember for me, for example, I used to be super insecure when I hit puberty, and it lasted for a long time. Then I discovered the law of attraction, and that led me down a rabbit hole of understanding how I can actually change my mind, my personal reality. So then I started to become a literal confident person, and I separated myself. That not confident Caden who would have the bad, unhealthy voice in his mind and beat himself up in the doubt and, have all these insecurities. I separate myself. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to drown you out. That old version has to die. So this new version can be created. So new beliefs, I am good enough, right? Someone who believes they're good enough, they're going to go end up taking consistently more action, which is going to help align them with the results that they want. But someone who's just like, I'm just not confident, I'm not good enough, it stops there. There's no opportunity to change. Two or three, let's say, for example, you want to lose weight in 2026, but you have a belief system of like, I've always been fat, or I'm just not naturally lean, or I've always been big boned. Ask yourself, when you say those things, what is that serving? Does that serve the person you want to become? When you picture your future self at your goal, do they think that way as well? No, they think I'm fit and healthy and lean. I'm so grateful for this body. That story that you're saying and you're thinking about that feels so true, it's only serving that old belief system that's keeping you stuck with your weight and your health. But that belief system has to go. As uncomfortable as it might be, it's got to go because it doesn't serve you. That's how powerful you are. That's how powerful you are. So be delusional. Be it now, because once you be it now, once you think and feel as them now, naturally you act as them And then it's only time in the way of you and actually getting to the goal. Next, pillar number two. Pillar number two is reflect and review. I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on top mentors around the world. And one thing I've noticed about them is that they're constantly reflecting and reviewing. I went to this very high-end masterclass in this event retreat, we'll say, for business in Hawaii in November 2024. Absolutely life changing. But one of the things that we did, we spent a lot of time consistently reflecting, sharing knowledge with each other, really actually reflecting on our past, on our patterns, on our actions, what we did that worked, what we did that didn't work. So that way we can laser focus for what's to come in 2025. And it just blew my mind about how powerful it truly is. And now I realize one of the smartest people there is, smartest types, is the ones who have what we call metathinking. Metathinking is when you're able to step outside of your thoughts instead of being trapped in your thoughts. So this is where you're able to correct yourself as you go, because what you're actually on the pursuit of is not trying to hold down this sense of self. You're on the pursuit of growth, you're on the pursuit of change, you're on the pursuit of truth. And when you're on the pursuit of that, you're easily able to let go of what you currently have so you can become something more. So this is what we call meta thinking. And this is where you're able to step outside your thoughts. You're able to observe the thoughts you're having and correct yourself in real time whenever you have a thought or an idea that is not in alignment with who you actually want to become. One of my favorite quotes that I fully embody is, I have very strong beliefs, but they're loosely held, which means if you prove something to be right and it's actually more empowering and better, I'm going to go that way. I'm totally okay with being wrong if that means that I get to win and get better. So that is what the power of reflection and review. A lot of people, they just kind of carry on with their lives. They stay in the same flow. They don't think too deeply about what they want and the changes they want. So they keep getting the same thing over and over and over again. But when you can really stop and reflect and review, what's going to help you is, number one, it'll help you spot the patterns and habits that you have that are playing underneath in the programs that you have in your mind. Because here's the thing, what is a pattern? What is a habit? It is an unconscious loop, unconscious keyword, unconscious loop that is playing out because the brain gets to conserve energy. Right? Imagine if you had to think about all the crap that you do. You'd have no energy. So it's an unconscious loop that consistently plays out so you can conserve energy, and the brain knows that it's predictable, it's safe, and secure. So it just keeps doing it. But here's the thing. Once you reflect and review and you catch a habit, it's no longer a habit because a habit is only an unconscious process. So then it becomes a decision. It becomes a decision to continue to act that way. And now you're way farther ahead to breaking that pattern of being your old self. Because now you can find out, well, what would I have to believe to be true about myself to decide to continue to act this way? What would I have to be scared of to continue to act this way, even though I know it's not in line with who I want to become? And then you get to uncover the reasons of why you're doing those self-sabotaging patterns. You're having the imposter syndrome. You're doing those habits that are not in line with who you actually want to become. That is like a major fast forward track to really changing yourself. Because here's what I'll say. You are your habits. The people who are in the hospital for their health in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, it's not because of what they did in their 40s, 50s, 60s. It's what they did in their 20s and 30s and then early 40s. Your habits will make who you are. So, catch and awareness, that's number one. Always reflecting, always reviewing. Then you can break them. Then you can rewire it to a more empowering. And then you can stack those habits as you go. Right? Well, I started out and I started walking every day. Now I'm working out 3 to 4 times a week. Now I'm meal prepping before my workouts, whatever it may be. And then change is going to happen. Make the habits and the habits will make you. So that is pillar number two. Moving on to pillar number three. Now, I know this sounds simple, but you do not want to skip this one. Laser focus. Now, here's the first thing I would love for you to do if you want to go through like a little workshop. So I would love for you to think of the 10 things that you want to accomplish. I did this actually last night on my masterclass with my clients as we were ending off 2025 and preparing for 2026. I got them to make a list of 10 things that they wanted in 2026. What are the 10 things that you want most in 2026? Write it down. And then after you're done, I want you to take it and I want you to cut out seven of those things. So now you only have three things. Because here's the thing, you have a jug of water, you try to fill up 10 cups, probably not going to fill them all the way up to the top, right? They're maybe going to get a quarter, maybe a little bit improved. But if you take those three and you take those other seven and dump it into the three, you're going to overflow it. You're going to fill it right to the top. You're going to get exactly what you wanted. And that's how you get laser focused is take things off your plate. Get laser focused on the things that matter most and then go all in on those things. And that will help you clear out and be able to easily say no to what doesn't matter and yes to what does matter. So that's the first thing, the 10-7 list. Number two, Number two is get specifically clear on the controlled actions that are needed. I highly suggest you read the book that is called 12-Week Worky or something like that. Anyways, it talks about how the idea of you want to go in about 3 month sprints and you take your big goals and try to get them done in 3 months at a time. And one of the key things is you got to have controlled actions that you know is going to move the needle forwards. Make sure they're written down. So if you want to learn more about health or if you want to learn more about getting rich, right? Okay, study 2 hours daily or 5 times a week. I'm going to commit to the specific focus. I'm going to cut out anything else that doesn't serve that purpose, right? Sleep 7 hours so I can balance my hormones. I have more energy to work more, to lose weight, whatever it may be, right? Move 30 minutes a day to clear my mind, clear my stress so I don't, end up self-sabotaging later on. Something like that. Three is it's not about adding more to your plate. It's actually about taking the things off right now that it's already dragging you down. So cut the anchors is what I'll call this. Here's what I mean. You're trying to go up in your life. You're trying to change. But that means that these old bad habits are not going to be able to come with you as well. If you think about easily just think about the person you want to become, when you have something going on in your life, one of the easiest ways to know if you should cut it out or add it in is simply just ask yourself, if I'm already at my goal and I'm looking back, what would I tell myself right now? The answer is there. Sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow, but that is it right there. You will know deep down with positive, honest reflection. And oftentimes, it's the things that we need to let go of so we can get that energy back, right? Where you put your focus goes is where energy flows. So if your focus is all over the place, if you're scattered, for example, I won't name any names, but I know somebody in my life who they're always all over the place, always on the go. And the problem is that nothing gets done perfectly a lot of time. For example, I saw them sometimes like they'll try to clean and then they'll try to cook and then they'll try to do something else and check their phone and they'll do all these things, right? But then next, the meal gets burnt. Then the house or the place doesn't get as clean as they want to, or they forget to do that other task. It's because they're all scattered, right? Think of yourself as like an energy ball. Is it all over the place? Is it calm? Is it neutral? Try to get it laser focused. And one of the ways is cutting out the things that do not serve you. So that way you can focus on the main things that do. So you can take all that energy and put it back into what you actually want. Think of it like this. One more example. Think of it like there's a river and you're going towards your goals. All right. And these little blockages are like trees stuck, tires stuck in the river, right? It's causing a blockage of the water. This is that doubt. This is those limiting beliefs. This is that procrastination, that bad habit of staying up late. They're just blocking your flow. So the more and more you pluck them out, the more and more that flow works better. And sometimes you need to slow down so you can speed up. Pillar number 4, the last one we got today, if you truly want to be the 1% in 2026, is you got to tame the animal inside of you. Tame the animal inside of you. Here's what I mean. We're all animals, right? We all have that animal part in us. And there's 3 ways that you can master this piece so you can truly master yourself. Because if you think about it, when do stupid decisions happen? It's when we are emotionally reacting in a negative way, right? This is why like you see a lot of males are typically the ones who produce the crimes and stuff, and they have all this testosterone and aggression, right? Do you think they're thinking clearly and calm and they're really happy in those moments when they make those stupid decisions? Absolutely not. So one of the best things that you can do is these three focuses right here to tame the animal mind. Number one is nervous system regulation. And I'm going to tell you really quickly too. It took me 5 years to learn this when it came specifically to becoming a funded day trader. You know, if you ever looked at investing or trading and investing, or say that again, but if you ever looked at it, oftentimes people are like, okay, I got to find the best strategy. And this happens all the time, right? For weight loss, I got to find the best diet. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's creating a better relationship within yourself. And one of the best ways to do so is getting your emotional state under control, your nervous system under control. And here's why. Number one, nervous system regulation. Unbelievably powerful. I do not know why this is not taught more. Did you know that when you're in a fight or flight state, your cortisol is raised, so that's affecting your health and your body. It's the silent killer, we always say. But also, it completely kills creative thought, completely kills creative thought. It stops the healing process in your body. It will stop consistency because this is where procrastination, brain fog, doubt, stuff like that comes into play. We lose complete focus and it kills our flow. But when we can get our body, our nervous system specifically, into a safe state, I forget if it's sympathetic or parasympathetic, but when we can get our nervous system into a safe state, then creative thought comes back, flow comes back, heart brain coherence comes back. We start to get back into a positive, better rhythm. We start to feel better. And when you feel better, you want to go do better. But when you don't feel good, when you're not feeling safe, right? All you're trying to do is survive. You're just trying to get through the day. You don't even have the capacity to think differently and to change your ways, right? We're just in survival mode. So we want to get out of survival mode because we're trying to thrive in 2026 and not just survive. So one of the ways is nervous system regulation. And I won't go too deep on how to do that because I'll just encourage you to go watch my other videos or other channels that talk about it. But nervous system regulation. Number two, emotional regulation as well. Stop reacting to the emotions. Stop reacting to our thoughts. And one of the best ways to do so is observe and do not react. When somebody says something, one of the best things that you can do is look at your external world as it's a constant test, it's a constant teacher, right? And remember that if somebody has control of your emotions, they have control over you. So the key is build a filter. And the best way to build that filter, where someone says something mean or nasty or some event happens, build a filter where you don't instantly react to it. And the best way to do so is I find meditation. Meditation is a golden teacher because it teaches us to not chase our thoughts. It teaches us to observe our thoughts. And when we do that, we stop getting so personalized with those thoughts and we realize that we are not our thoughts in the first place. We are the one observing them. And that's one of the most powerful skills because then you are fully in observer mode and you're not caught up in that animal mind who's trying to protect their ego and protect their sense of self and whatever it may be. And they're all emotional and irrational, right? So calm the body, get to a safe place. And I'll promise you, when you just do that one thing, you will stand out way more than anybody else. People will recognize that. They will feel kind of your energy. They will see that in you. And it's one of the most respectable skills possible. Observe, don't react. Lastly, is think of it like this. One of the most common sayings in the Bible and many religious texts is do not fear. Do not fear. Because again, fear causes you to get stuck. It causes you to stall. It kills your focus, right? It just causes us to want that comfort zone, which means there's no change. It causes us to wait for the right timing, which never comes. And remember that when you fear, it means that you're trusting the things that are not working out rather than trusting the things that are working out because you don't lack trust. We often think, well, I just don't trust it. Like I just don't have trust in myself. No, it's not that. You have trust, just like you have confidence, but you're just confident in something else rather than being confident in yourself. So it's up to us to explore, why am I? Why would I choose to trust that things are not going to work out for me? Why would I choose this view on my life and myself when I can easily change it? I know I might have been, brought up this way, programmed this way, but I'm not stuck. I'm not a solid rock. I'm a human being. I'm a powerful person that can change. Always remember that. And that is pillar number 4 to today's training on how to get ahead of 99% of people in 2026. Now, if this did serve you in any way possible, leave a comment down below on what pillar really hit home the most. Make sure you like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys on the other side for the next training. Thank you so much for watching, and let's win 2026.